From the Congress's official handle during the last leg of the Karnataka poll campaign has sparked a bitter political war. The tweet carrying pictures of Sonia's speech in Karnataka's Hubballi quoted her as saying that the Congress will not allow anyone to pose a threat to Karnataka's reputation, mark the words, reputation, sovereignty or integrity, unquote. The word sovereignty in reference to one of the states kicked up a political storm with the Prime Minister raining fire on the Congress party with a tukde gang swipe.
कांग्रेस के शाही परिवार ने कल कर्नाटका में आकर के बोला है, उन्होंने कहा है कि कर्नाटका की सॉवरेनिटी की रक्षा करना चाहते हैं। कर्नाटका की सॉवरेनिटी यानी कि कर्नाटका की संप्रभुता, क्या आपको पता है कि इसका अर्थ क्या होता है? इतने सालों से पार्लियामेंट में बैठे हैं, भारत के संविधान का शपथ लिया है और ये बात बोलते हैं। जब कोई देश, सुनिए दोस्तों, जब कोई देश आजाद हो जाता है तो उस देश को संप्रभु राष्ट्र कहते हैं। कांग्रेस जो कह रही है, इसका मतलब है कि कांग्रेस कर्नाटका को भारत से अलग मानती है। टुकड़े टुकड़े गैंग की बीमारी कांग्रेस में इतनी ऊपर तक पहुंच जाएगी, मैंने कभी सोचा तक नहीं था।
Now, this is what the Prime Minister said on back of that tweet that's on your screen. Nalin Kohli stays on. Tehseen Poonawala, Nikhil Jain, advocate Abhijit Iyer Mitra also with us. Tehseen, you were laughing while the Prime Minister's soundbite was playing.
I mean, I don't know what to say. This is one, Mrs. Gandhi did not even mention a sovereignty in that context. The Prime Minister has taken it to another context. And if you keep the sovereignty of India intact, for which her family, her husband sacrificed his life, you couldn't find his body, it had to be stitched together. Her grandmother died in her, her mother-in-law died in her arms. Her father, her mother-in-law's father spent the most amount of time in jail for the freedom of this country. At least Shri Narendra Modi ji, the Prime Minister of India, should not teach this family about sacrifice and keeping this country united. Their bodies come back wrapped in the tricolour. I humbly tell the Honourable Prime Minister, Karnataka elections will wait. Manipur right now is under stress. Let's protect Manipur and our citizens from Manipur. Can Nalin Kohli ji tell me one other instance where Article 355 has been invoked on its own?
You were saying,
another instance in the history of our country.
Context. What is the context of the word sovereignty in that tweet?
Sovereignty of the country.
The tweet still exists. Not been pulled down.
The sovereignty of the country. India is a sovereign country. Karnataka, Maharashtra, Delhi, Jammu and Kashmir is sovereign, part of a sovereign country. You have to protect the sovereignty. I understand the Honourable Prime Minister is afraid to name China. I understand. He's afraid.
You've read the tweet.
I understand he's afraid. This is a family that sacrificed for the country.
Let's come to the tweet full frame. Can we do that, Pawan? The Congress, read it with me, Tehseen. The Congress will not allow anyone to pose a threat to Karnataka's reputation, Karnataka's sovereignty or integrity. This is the tweet.
Correct. And
what is the context?
Within the Union of India. And I'll ask you, very good question. Thank you for that question. Within the Union of India, Pranesh, I'll ask you, as a great journalist, tell me, Abhijit is here. When was the last time in the last 15 years you saw two states, Assam and Mizoram, fighting like two countries fighting? They were shooting at each other. You know what's happened between Karnataka and Goa?
Are you advocating sovereignty?
I'm not. I'm saying that came out to a situation where you are trying the central government intervene. They were shooting at each other, the police forces. Assam and Mizoram had a fight. Today, you have to protect the sovereignty of the Union of India, which includes every state.
But that's not the tweet, Mr. Kohli. That's
you interpret it. Their sacrifice for the life of this tricolour.
Talk about the sacrifice in the tweet then. Why is it about sovereignty of Karnataka? Mr. Kohli, respond to what you just heard from Tehseen.
It was a brave attempt by Mr. Tehseen Poonawala, my friend, to somehow give some kind of twist to the gross error of Mrs. Gandhi's tweet. So just to go back to basics, since he's a lawyer too, the preamble of India reads, "We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic." And Article 1 says India, that is Bharat, is a union of states. It does not say sovereign states. It says union of states. Everyone under the sun who understands basic English knows that sovereignty is used for independence, for a separate identity in that sense, and therefore a country is called a separate sovereign state or a separate nation, sovereign nation. This use of the word is incorrect. Now, because it's the Nehru-Gandhi family and the first family of the Congress party, everyone is forced to defend it. And this is the regular feature. So therefore, whether it is Mr. Rahul Gandhi who goes abroad and is basically looking for help from America or Europe, what are they doing about India's democracy? After being an elected, democratically elected member of parliament, sitting in London in a program, to Mrs. Gandhi now saying that, the sovereignty of Karnataka as if it's a separate state, as a separate country. I think they have to be very careful about it, and it displays the deep thinking of the Congress party.
Abhijit
Which is
Iyer
very
Mitra.
dangerous. And I think in a country where we have seen from 47 several movements for states to somehow create disturbance, this kind of thinking raises serious questions.
Just one line. Nalinji, since you're a lawyer and also the representative of the BJP, here's a challenge to your national TV. If what Mrs. Gandhi said is unconstitutional, you should file a case. But you won't, because you know that to defend the sovereignty of India, every inch of India has to be defended. And she has sacrificed her husband and her mother-in-law in her arms to defend the sovereignty of this great country. They've come back in a tricolor, wrapped in a tricolor.
Does that mean, Tehseen, in all seriousness, does that mean that you advocate the sovereignty of
Tehseen,
Karnataka?
two things I'm used to in every
Defend
debate.
the sovereignty of
asking
every
why
millimeter of
my
India.
friend, that's not
They
the
don't
point.
want to
someone
defend.
not arrested.
They don't want to defend.
What you're saying
We will
is not
defend
always
every
done.
millimeter.
There.
Your
We
challenge
will
is always
defend
this.
every
Why don't
millimeter
you
of
have
India.
somebody-
Defending the
why don't you-
indefensible.
and
That's
what
the
is the
tweet that
Honorable
we
Home
We
will
Minister
will
doing?
defend
Minister
every
doing?
millimeter of
This is
India.
standard.
Now, 1 minute. Mr. Kohli, we don't have much time on the show.
Can
Let
I
me bring in Mr. Mitra. Mr. Mitra, from Union of States to now sovereignty of Karnataka.
So, Pranesh, remember, Tehseen is right. Indira Gandhi would have never stood for this. Nehru would have never stood for this. Rajiv Gandhi himself would have, is rolling somewhere wherever his soul is right now, looking at this word sovereignty that has cropped up in the INC street. But remember, Rahul Gandhi is not Rajiv Gandhi. Okay, Rahul Gandhi has a very European social democrat view of the world, where sovereignty, nationality, nationalism, these are all dirty words which take him back to Mussolini and Hitler. Mussolini, incidentally, is the army with which his grandfather fought. So, for them, this sovereignty business is a very dirty word. So it is absolutely accurate that Sonia Gandhi did not use it, but it is also absolutely accurate that the INC has used it in its tweet. And surprisingly, it is the INC that has filed the case against the BJP at the Election Commission for their own tweet using the word sovereignty. This is classic case of Ulta Chor Kotwal ko dante. And mind you, Rahul Gandhi has a long history of trampling on the sovereignty of this country. He was asked, remember, at that London conference by that dear old man saying that, Indira Gandhi said, I don't talk ill of my country abroad. And you saw exactly how he reacted. He has brought up this union of states. He has brought up the autonomy of Kashmir, etc., over and over and over again. And he's shown he doesn't think like an Indian. He thinks like a European social democrat. He's totally deracinated. He has no connect with the people.
Nikhil Jain, is the disconnect now showing with the people, with the constitution, with the country?
So see, Pranesh, there is no disconnect with the constitution. You have to realize the Supreme Court, in its 1962 judgment of West Bengal versus Union of India, states are sovereign in their own sphere. Swaraj Abhiyan versus Union of India, 2017, India has divided sovereignty between the center and the states. JP Rao versus Union of India, Andhra Pradesh High Court, states are said to be enjoying political sovereignty. See, had it been a basic person, had it been a school student saying that in India, sovereignty only lies with the union government, I could have understood it. But when Mr. Kohli,
Mr.
a senior
Jain,
lawyer,
you are
or
saying that
when
many in
people
the
from the party
Congress
of somebody who
are
has an MA
saying
in
Sonia
entire
Gandhi
political
never used
science.
these words. It's only a tweet.
See, it may be a tweet, it may not be a tweet. The question is that the BJP is raking up this issue that states cannot have their own sovereignty without understanding that under Article 246 of the Indian Constitution, sovereignty has been divided between the states and the union, which is why the union, the parliament cannot legislate on matters of the state list. Now, I don't want to make it very technical, right? But the point is for the BJP to pick up one word uttered by a politician, allegedly uttered by a politician. We don't even know if Mr. Gandhi has even
Mr.
said
Jain,
that.
if what you're saying
for
is
the
true,
BJP
then the
to rake
Congress
it up and
party
make it
should
such
not
an
be.
issue,
No,
it
no, the
simply
Congress
shows they
party
have
should
no
then come out and
answers.
say that, look, yes, the comment was made, nothing wrong in it. Because the BJP has gone to the election commission. Mr. Kohli.
No, but the Congress party is busy. The Congress party is busy telling the people how corrupt the government of Mr.
So
Bhumai
therefore,
has been, how we are going to run a
Amit,
good ship,
I-
how Karnataka is
I
lagging
heard
behind
that
on
very
its social
carefully.
indicators. That is what should
heard that
matter to
very
the people of
carefully.
Karnataka.
Yeah.
Corruption.
Let him answer. Mr.
Yeah.
Kohli, 30 seconds.
Please, Mr. Kohli.
So, yes, of course, since my learned friend was giving me a lesson in law, in Article 246 is the power to make law under the entries of List 1, List 2, List 3 in terms of the 7th schedule. It does not deal with the subject of sovereignty.
Okay. On that note, I thank all of you for joining us. The news are coming up on the other side. Stay with Times Now.